In a shocking development that has sent ripples through the academic and scientific community, two young men have been arrested in connection with a mysterious explosion that rocked the campus of Harvard Medical School in Boston. The incident, which occurred in the early hours of Saturday, November 1st, has finally begun to unravel, bringing clarity to what could have been a devastating attack. At approximately 2:45 a.m. on the quiet morning of November 1st, campus police were alerted to a fire alarm originating from the fourth floor of a building located at 220 Longwood Avenue. This building houses a research laboratory belonging to the Harvard Medical School's Department of Neurobiology. When authorities arrived on the scene, they were met with evidence of an explosion, an alarming sight in a place dedicated to cutting-edge medical research. The suspects, identified as 18-year-old Logan David Patterson and 20-year-old Dominique Frank Cardoza, were apprehended earlier this morning after a swift investigation. The two men now face serious charges for their alleged involvement in planting the explosive device. According to charging documents, the sequence of events leading up to the explosion was meticulously pieced together using surveillance footage and public assistance. At about 2:33 a.m., nearly 10 minutes before the blast, security cameras captured two individuals, later identified as Patterson and Cardoza, walking near the lab building. The pair were wearing face coverings and appeared to be lighting what investigators now believe were Roman candle-style fireworks. Not long after that sighting, the suspects were reportedly seen scaling scaffolding on the side of the building, ultimately gaining access to the rooftop. Moments later, the explosion rocked the lab, setting off alarms and activating the building's emergency response systems. Authorities later confirmed that the device which went off inside a laboratory locker was likely a large commercial-grade firework. After the explosion, campus cameras recorded the two men fleeing the scene in opposite directions, using a first-floor emergency exit. It appears they quickly realized the images may have been caught on camera, as the suspects were later seen discarding clothing items that made them recognizable. This hasty attempt at evasion didn't fool investigators for long. Thanks in large part to vigilant citizens who recognized the suspect from images released by the authorities, Logan Patterson and Dominique Cardoza were swiftly identified. Recovered security footage and forensic evidence strengthened the case against them, leaving little doubt in the minds of investigators. Law enforcement officials emphasized how dangerous the situation could have become. The explosive had the potential to inflict severe injuries or worse, especially if the building had been occupied at the time. They also acknowledged the role of luck and prompt emergency response in preventing what could have been a far more tragic outcome. Fortunately, no injuries or fatalities occurred, and damage to the facility was minimal. Federal and local authorities have praised the public for stepping forward, stressing how critical community involvement was in solving the case so quickly. Investigations are ongoing, and many are left wondering what motivated the two young men to carry out such a reckless act, especially at one of the world's leading institutions in medical research. As the story continues to develop, the scientific community breathes a sigh of relief. What could have escalated into a disaster was contained thanks to prompt action and a lucky break. Yet, this incident serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities even in highly secured environments and the importance of vigilance and partnership between public institutions and their communities. The arrests mark a significant development in the case, but many questions remain unanswered. Authorities continue to look into whether Patterson and Cardoza acted alone, or if others may have been involved. More details are expected to emerge in the days ahead as the investigation deepens. For now, justice seems to be catching up with those responsible. And while the incident at Harvard Medical School has left many shaken, it also underscores the power of quick thinking, coordinated response, and the vital role played by everyday citizens in bringing the truth to light. Stay tuned as this story continues to unfold, and as we seek to understand the full scope of this stunning turn of events in the heart of Boston's academic world.